In this question, you are given the mass, volume, pressure, and temperature of a gas and asked for its molar mass. There's a couple different approaches here. So one, you should understand that the molar mass of a gas is the mass over the number of moles. So in this case, we're given the mass. We know that it is 32 grams. The only thing we don't know is the number of moles. So one thing you can take into account is that at STP, and STP corresponds to 0 degrees Celsius for temperature and 1 atmosphere for pressure. So under those conditions, 1 mole of gas will occupy a volume of 22.4 liters. We're at 0 degrees Celsius, but we're not at 1 atmosphere, we're at 2 atmospheres. And if you double that pressure, that would cut the volume in half. And so under our conditions, with 2 atmospheres and 0 degrees Celsius, 1 mole of a gas would actually equal half as much, 11.2 liters, which just happens to be the volume we have. And so in this case, we know we have 1 mole of a gas, and that gives us a molar mass of 32 grams per mole. And if we look here, we want to know the molar mass, and that is 32 grams. In this case, it's not grams per mole because molar mass implies that it's per mole. Cool. The other approach we could take in this one is we could take all those same numbers. We could take the 11.2 liters, plug it in for the volume. We could take the 2 atmospheres, plug it in for the pressure. We could take the 273 Kelvin, it's got to be in Kelvin, plug it in for the temperature, plug in R, because it's a constant, and solve for N. And then we could take that same 32 grams, we would have solved for N and got 1 mole again, and still got 32 grams per mole. The last approach we could take is this definition of density here. So density is pressure times molar mass over RT. So if we would take and rearrange this, we know the pressure, we know the temperature, R is a constant, and we know the density here because we have both the grams and the liters. So we could take the mass over volume and plug that in for the density, and then simply solve for the molar mass and we'd get the same answer. But the first couple of ways, probably more practical.